Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity, and unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning, and unto the Bayatha Davadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. So what you're seeing on screen here is an article by Who, What, Why International. And of course there's the orange duckling himself, and it says right here, the world says an effective goodbye to America. And the small letters underneath the picture says Donald Trump's foreign policies have left America out in the cold on the world stage. So this right here just goes to tell you that all these other nations are leaving America behind. And it says right here, Trump's erratic behavior has finally convinced just about everyone that the U.S. can no longer be trusted. It's becoming increasingly clear after Donald Trump's embarrassingly narcissistic, not to mention insulting performance before an international economic and cultural elite at the annual World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, that the United States can no longer be trusted. In the minds of many of America's former allies, the MAGA slogan has turned from "Make America Great Again" to "Make America Go Away." Trump's inexplicable longing to personally own Greenland has done even more to convince the world public at large that the American president has a screw loose. Trump may eventually either slip into full-blown dementia or opt for a legally and financially cushioned retirement, but with the U.S. presidency changing every 4 years, Europeans are acutely aware that there is no guarantee that a future president elected 4, 8, or 20 years from now won't be just as unpredictably crazy and destructive as Trump. The U.S., in short, can no longer be relied on for either leadership or security. Conclusion: with America's credibility in the slag heap, it's better not to count on America at all. Trump may soon be gone, but the damage he has done to America's credibility will linger long after him. Among the immediate casualties, we can list America's former role as titular leader of the free world. Of course, Trump is not the only villain here. His openly sadistic chief of staff, Stephen Miller, is clearly convinced that wanton cruelty is an effective mechanism when it comes to frightening immigrants. In the process, he has frightened nearly everyone else away as well. The global economy steams ahead without the U.S. All right. In the podcast interview with the New York Times' Ezra Klein, Tom Friedman noted that the coming global competition will almost certainly be for dominance of the global economy, and it will involve a showdown between the U.S. and China. Vladimir Putin's Russia, Friedman pointed out, doesn't really count. Russia's economy is little more than an oligarch-shackled basket case. Russia manufactures nothing of value, and its only reliable sources of income are oil, gas, extortion, and the unsustainable extraction of natural resources. Russia has virtually no place in the global markets. Who wants to buy a Russian camera, watch, or even a laptop? China, on the other hand, is a manufacturing powerhouse, thanks mainly to American corporate eagerness to exploit China's cheap labor for quick profits. Instead of America being great again, Trump has managed to leave America isolated from the new global economic alignment. Friedman questioned how the U.S., which represents a market of about 340 million people, can compete with China's 1.4 billion. Of course, size isn't everything, but when one weighs the pool of talent available to each country, China definitely looks intimidating. For example, the U.S. graduates fewer than 200,000 engineering students a year, while China graduates more than 1.3 million. The number alone tells us that China's chances of spotting superior talent compared to the U.S. are overwhelmingly better. The warning signs are already visible in terms of quality output. Harvard, formerly the world's leading university, has slipped into third place, superseded by two Chinese universities, which is Zhejiang University and Hangzhou and Jiao Tong University in Shanghai. All right, and it says here the New York Times points out that the Trump-led Republican onslaught against higher education in America, along with visa harassment of foreign students, has further contributed to America's slipping in world rankings. In his interview with Klein, Friedman suggested that the obvious approach to surviving China's ascension to economic dominance is for the U.S. to combine forces with the European Union, which represents a market of roughly 450 million people. Trump shot that one down with his performance at Davos. The new agreement between the European Union and India to create a relatively tariff-free economic market includes more than a fourth of the world's population, or roughly 2 billion people. The fact that it pointedly excludes the U.S. can be counted as the second aftershock in the wake of Trump's trip to Davos. The first tremor was the decision of Canada, formerly America's leading trade partner, to sign a similar deal with China. Instead of America being great again, Trump has managed to leave America isolated from the new global economic alignment. A president out for himself. Trump, who still can't understand why he was denied the Nobel Peace Prize, may be counting on his border of peace to maintain his legacy after he leaves the White House. But who are the members of this board, who are being asked to contribute $1 billion each and accept Trump's lifetime membership before joining? Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, a random assortment of friends, and the man he formerly dismissed as Little Marco, signed on the Board of Peace Executive Board. The countries that joined as members sound like an anemic version of the non-alignment movement. They are Belarus, Bulgaria, Hungary, Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Qatar, and Jordan. Argentina and Indonesia are also on the list, along with Paraguay, Kosovo, and Uzbekistan. Vietnam and Cambodia signaled their interest in joining. Canada was invited, but after Canada's trade deal with China and little straight talk from its Prime Minister, Mark Carney, Trump disinvited our northern neighbor. The future emperor of the world accepts no backtalk or criticism from inferiors. The presidency no longer serves the country. It serves the narcissistic fantasies of a single, emotionally stunted individual whose primary interest is his and his family's personal wealth. Man, America is falling faster and faster and faster because of this orange duckling that's in office. All right. I'm going to get some scripts here. This is going to be let's see. This is going to be the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50. Chapter 50, verse 23. And it says, "How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations?" Well, through these foreign policies. Riches got by deceit, ill-gotten gains, oppressing the people, trying to dictate how they should, live their lives through, these philosophies and doctrines, false philosophies and doctrines, might I add you. All this devising mischief by law, unrighteous decrees. These other countries, these people, they're tired of America. They're tired. So, Yahweh Shem Shai is breaking this place down systematically by having America lose all of its allies, the money, the dollar, losing its value, and trade relations have gone down the shithole. America is in trouble. So I'm going to read Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 23 again. And it says, "How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations?" So this is everybody is seeing it. Everybody is seeing it. That America is, people are learning. People are learning from America's example as a worldwide embarrassment. So, what else could be said about this place? It's just a shithole. All right. Now, there's going to be the book of Nahum. This is the book of Nahum, chapter 3, starting at verse 4. It says, "Because of the multitude of thy whoredoms, of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts." Verse 5, "Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame." So, Yahweh Shemel Shai, through his prophets, this place is being exposed. Everything that us prophets have been saying for the last 30 plus 40 years, we've been doing nothing but telling the truth the whole time about America. This place is a big fucking scam. There is no future here. All that's left here is the grave. And Abba Rata said, I'm not gonna be in that grave. That I get out of here. All of us get out of here. Us, the hopeful elect. In verse 6, Nahum chapter 3, verse 6, and it says, "And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock." So Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to show the world he's showing the world right now just how messed up America is. And the primary example, look at the one who's running the country. The orange duckling himself has been nothing but a complete embarrassment. So, this place is done, man. Nothing more to be said about it. Okay, and there's this is the book of Obadiah. And this, like I said, this is Esau Edom system. So let's see. Salakia, give me a minute. Okay, so let me get there real quick. Salakia, give me a second. Yeah, that's gonna be excuse me, it's gonna be Obadiah chapter 1. I'll start at verse 1. It says, "The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh. An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle." Verse 2, and it says, "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised." So thou art great. So Esau, he is the minority. He is the true minority. And he is greatly despised by the other nations. So, really, this is it, man. The Esau Edom is the true public enemy number one. let's see. Let's see. Let's see. And this is this is going to be the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 10. Excuse me. And it says, hold on. Oh, let me see. Yeah, this is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 10, and it says, beat your plowshares. Let's see. Yeah, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So yes, you got these other nations that they've had it with America. They're tired of taking shit from America, and now they're walking out that door. No longer doing business with America, leaving this place behind in the dust. And also, people are gearing up for war. Okay, the spirit of war it's on this place. And these other nations, they're getting ready. This is going to be Revelation chapter 18, verse... I'm going to start at, I'm going to get verse 5. Revelation 18 and 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the power hath remembered her iniquities. And who's that her she's talking about? It's talking about Babylon. Okay? So, this is, I'm going to say verse 6 says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled, which she hath filled to her double. So whatever she dished out, she's going to get it back double in return. In verse 7, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. So America, once thought to be untouchable, once thought to be the light and the leader of the world, and now look at it. After all this time, and the people that are in America right now, they're losing faith in America. They're like, fuck this, I'm getting out of here. And a lot of those people that are leaving are celebrities. Verse 8, therefore shall her place come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai who judgeth her. So the time is coming. I'm going to close out with this. This is going to be the book of Psalms, chapter 94. Psalms chapter 94, verse 20. It says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? No. And this is talking about the corrupt authorities who use legal, official, or legislative systems to cause suffering. Highlights the injustice of using the law to perpetrate evil, such as targeting the righteous. And the people of this society, the rulers, instead of ensuring justice, they create unjust laws that oppress people. It's the throne of iniquity. So, this is Esau, Edom's kingdom, man. So this is all I gotta say is, what more needs to be said. I wasn't gonna read all this article. It's a lot, but All I gotta say is America is in trouble, and that's it. America's not coming back from this. So all I gotta say is, keep doing your job, Orange Duckling. Keep being that embarrassment. Give us something to laugh about before this place goes up in smoke. And with that, this wasn't intended to be long, but Lord willing, was edifying to the body and to the few sincere believers and listeners. And with closing, I like to give all the honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles, the great millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching His word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Bayatha Davada, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. See you in the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwame Asharala, Wa Abad Babal, Shalom, Barakatham.